Golf Central Update. Brought to you by TaylorMade.
Welcome to this Golf Central Update. Steve Burkowski with you as the Arnold Palmer Cup is slated for July 3rd through the 5th at Lahinch Golf Club on the west coast of Ireland. And in these unprecedented times, we don't know if the matches will be held as scheduled, postponed, or canceled. With the pandemic going on around the world and affecting so many lives, there are certainly more pressing issues than the game of golf. However, we'd like to recognize the accomplishments of the college golfers since last summer and during this past college season. Today, we will reveal the remaining players who qualified and will be selected for the Arnold Palmer Cup. We're going to announce the international team, where I will be joined in moments by head coaches Alan Murray of Washington and Rhea Scott from the University of Virginia. A little background on the squad: the team will be comprised of 12 men and 12 women, 6 of which are automatic qualifiers, and the other 6 who are chosen by the committee. Take a look now at the automatic qualifiers on the women's side. We'll start with Vivian Ho from Chinese Taipei, a freshman at the University of Arizona. Emma Smits from Austria, also a freshman at UCLA. Lynn Grant from Arizona State, a freshman for the Sun Devils. Kaylee Telfer, a junior from South Africa who plays at Auburn University. Aline Crowder, a sophomore from Germany who attends Stanford University. And Sophie Guo from China, a freshman at the University of Texas. And now the committee selection. Ingrid Lindblad, a freshman from Sweden who plays at LSU. Olivia Mahaffey, senior from Arizona State. And Pauline Roussine-Bouchard from France, and a freshman at the University of South Carolina. Those 3 were selected on March 4th. Joining them will be Sophia Garcia, a junior from Texas Tech. Hazel McGarvey from Scotland at Stirling University. And Angelina Yeh, a coach's selection from China, and a freshman at Stanford. So those are the 12 women that will try to retain the cup for the international side. How about the men? We'll start with Yuxin Lin, a freshman from China and the University of Southern California. Adrian Panderis from Duke, a junior. How about Mark Power, a freshman at Wake Forest from Ireland? Lahinch is his home golf course. Puat Anupan Sudsai from Thailand, a junior from San Diego State. Sam Choi from Korea, a sophomore at New Mexico. Angus Flanagan, the Englishman, the junior from the University of Minnesota. Now rounding out the international side with the committee selections for the men: Ludwig Aberg from Sweden and a freshman at Texas Tech. Keelan Rafferty from Maynooth University in Ireland, and Matthias Schmid, a junior from Germany who plays his college golf at Louisville. They were all selected on March 4th. Joining them will be Alex Fitzpatrick from England and a sophomore at Wake Forest. Vincent Norman from Sweden, a senior at Georgia Southwestern. And David Puig from Spain, a freshman, a coach's selection. He plays his college golf at Arizona State. There are the 24 for the international teams, as now we welcome in the coaches. And we'll start with Rhea Scott from the University of Virginia. And Rhea, you were an assistant coach in the Arnold Palmer Cup in 2019. The international team was victorious and successful. How do you build on that experience, use it to your advantage as you look at just how talented this group is we just announced?
I am definitely looking at my experience. I learned a lot from coaches Mark Immelman and Jan Dowling and Robert Duck last year at Alotian Club. I know that energy and the pairings are going to be so important in this year's format, as it is every year. But having male and female pairings just adds this different dynamic to this competition, and I think that's part of what makes it so special.
Alan, what are your initial thoughts when you take a look at the international team that has been assembled?
Yeah, really pleased with how it's turned out. I think we've a really strong team. A lot of really high quality players, and hopefully everything goes well, and really excited to get things started at Lahinch. The guys and the girls, I feel like we've a really strong side. But then you look at the US and they can say the same. So it's, it'll be really high level competition. And, I think that's what, the folks that will be at Lahinch will see. So it's, very exciting.
Rhea, you referenced the men and the women. That aspect is we're now year 3 with the women being involved as part of the Arnold Palmer Cup. What has that dynamic meant to the growth and development of the game globally, having the best women and men now together?
I think it's really what attracts a lot of these student athletes to this competition, and a lot of the fans too, because you don't see this format in any other competition, um, really worldwide, where the best male and female amateurs get together, get to work together. It's even fun for us as coaches to see them helping each other, working each other. They're on completely different teams throughout the years, but then they come together for the Arnold Palmer Cup and they're on one team. So it's really, really special. And it couldn't speak for more highly for just the way college golf has become more international. So I think it's such a great representation of the way college golf is headed.
And Alan, you can speak to the international side. Growing up in Ireland, you get to go back home. How do you think you and Rhea will formulate a plan of pairings, matchups, building a bit of a bond between this team in the coming months, as we're now all in some very difficult and different times in this world?
Yeah, that's a real challenge for both of us. I mean, Rhea's obviously a great coach, has been doing it at a high level for a while, and what I was lucky enough to be assistant coach in the Palmer Cup in Atlanta, but it was just the guys then. Rhea has experience with the mix of the guys and the girls, so yeah, I'll be leaning heavily on kind of her experience from last time, and she's 1-0 in this, so she's got to figure it out. So we'll be bowing to Rhea's higher knowledge.
Rhea, that is a lot of pressure, as Alan throwing that completely on you. But I want to circle back to something. We talked about the success you had a year ago. The women's side, out of the 12 players on your team, 7 of them are freshmen. How has that changed in college golf, that these relative newcomers are now some of the very best in the world?
I was going to mention it, Steve, if you hadn't, but 7 of these players are freshmen. First year, being selected for the Arnold Palmer Cup is phenomenal. I think it shows that women's collegiate golf internationally, they are ready to step in and lead from day one. Look at the kind of competition they're getting worldwide, whether it's on their national teams or international competitions. These players are ready. I think it's also what's going to make us look to our upperclassmen in Olivia Mahaffey and Sofia Garcia. Both have Palmer Cup experience. And we're going to really look to them to kind of help the young ones see what the Palmer Cup is all about.
Alan, being in the Seattle area, how as a college golf coach have you dealt with the cancellation of the season and the reaction of your team as a program that's in one of the hot spots of the coronavirus in the country?
Yeah, I think like everyone, this is just so unique. We were having a great season, and there's initial disappointment, I would say, but I think you gotta take a step back and look at the broader view. Like this is a issue in society all over the world, and I think getting a handle on it, getting people safe and healthy is of the utmost importance. So our disappointment at the season, and every program in the country was disappointed that their season was kind of cut short, but it's it's just one of those things. I think the main thing for us and our guys, we learned that we can compete at the highest level in college golf. So we have to use that the confidence and belief that we've gained from this year to help us when things get back to normal as soon as possible, hopefully.
Rhea, same question for you. How have you helped your team process what has happened in the entire world, well beyond the cancellation of a golf season over the past couple of weeks?
I think it was a little bit easier for us to put it into perspective because we actually had a player, Virginia Bossi, go home to Italy, where the conditions there are much more extreme than in the United States right now in terms of social restrictions and distancing. And so she gave us all a great wake-up call to take this really seriously, And I think that's what the entire country of Italy is telling the United States right now, is to take this seriously, because there are things bigger than golf right now. Yes, it's unfortunate that our season got canceled and that we can't compete, but people's lives are on the line, and I think everybody's been really understanding and trying to make this best of the situation that they possibly can.
Rhea, that's some wonderful perspective. Good to hear that your team has maybe a better grasp of it as we all try to sort of catch up with what's going on in the course of each and every day over the entire world. Rhea, Alan, thanks so much for joining us today. Best of luck to you and your team this summer. And there you have it, the international team for this year's Arnold Palmer Cup, which as of now is scheduled to be played July 3rd through the 5th at Lahinch in Ireland. I'm Steve Burkowski. Thanks so much for watching this Golf Central Update.